Each morning, Jared delivers the Times to one neighborhood and then the Star to a different neighborhood. While delivering the Times, Jerry delivers 2 papers per minute. However, since the Star is so heavy, he can only deliver 1 Star paper per minute. If he delivers a total of 91 papers and takes exactly an hour to deliver all the papers, how many of each type of paper does he deliver? So there's quite a few ways we could set this up, and it really kind of depends on how we define our variables. So I'm going to write a let statement, and for me, I'm going to say that I guess I'll use S and T. I'm going to say that T is the number of times papers delivered, and S is the number of star paper delivered. And a simple equation, then I know that if I add the number of times plus the number of stars, I get 91. So that's a nice first equation. The other equation involves time, and you can see I've highlighted that they're giving me the rate of delivery in papers per minute, and the time was given in hours. It says an hour. So I'm going to be expressing that hour in 60 minutes to keep our units consistent. So let's think about this for just a second. If I was to deliver T, now the thing is what are the units of that? T, what are those? They're actually papers, right? They're I guess New York Times papers. T of the Times papers times. Now it says that in 1 minute I can deliver 2 of the Times, 2 of the New York Times. So if I have T times and I multiply that by 1 minute for every 2 times, because that's the rate that I was given for these, because it says I can deliver 2 papers per minute, so 1 minute 2 times. When I do that, these units cancel, right? This times and this times go away, and what I'm left with is T times a minute. No, I'm left with T times 1/2, right? And so what is that then? The units that is, it's T times 1/2. Those are minutes. So it's going to be 1/2 of the T's. So part of my equation is going to be a 1/2 T plus. Now for the stars, it's a little bit more straightforward, right? Because the star, so I've got S, and what are S's? Those are star papers. That in 1 minute, I can only deliver one of the star papers. So these units are gone and I'm left with just a minute. So I've got S minutes because this is 1/1. So I would just say S minutes. So if I've got minutes for the times, minutes that it takes me to, 1/2 T is the minutes it takes to deliver the times, and S is the number of minutes it takes to deliver the star, that equals 60 minutes in total. So that's a fairly straightforward system of equations to solve. And I'm going to say let's go ahead and solve that using, I guess, elimination. So I'm going to multiply this top equation through by the number -1. And when I do that, I get a negative T minus S equals -91. Below, the other equation is 1/2 T plus S equals 60. So if I combine these, if I take the equal things from the top and I add these equal things to each side of that, I'm going to get a negative 1T plus a 1/2 T is going to be a positive 1/2 T. My S's cancel, and if I have 91, if I have 60 and I'm taking away 91 from that, that should be a 31. It should be a 30, no, 31. So, or negative 30. Yeah, it should be a negative 31. Oh, yeah, negative T plus a 1/2 is negative 1/2 T. That's correct, because this is a positive 1. No, this is a negative 1T plus a positive 1/2 would be negative 1/2 T. And over here, this equals negative 91 minus 60 is positive, what is it, positive 30. Positive 31. No, negative 31. There we go. Boy, that was embarrassing. So if I multiply both sides of this by negative 2, on the left hand side I get a positive t, and on the other side when I multiply by negative 2 I get positive 62. So t is 62. And if we go ahead and solve this then for s, I think I'd like the original top equation. I'll use that to solve for s. I'm just going to say 62 plus, not 60t. It says t, which is 62, plus s is 91. And if I subtract 62 from both sides, I get that s is 29. So I think that my solution is that I'm going to have he delivers uh, 62 of the times and 29 of the stars. And if I take that 62 and 29 and kind of think about it in terms of the original paper, if I take 62 and 29, I better get a 91. 62 plus 29 is 91. And I can do I can deliver these times 2 of them per minute. So if I take 62 times a half, that means it takes me 31 minutes to deliver those times. And the star I can deliver 1 per minute, and there's 29 of those. And yes, 31 plus 29 is 60. So pretty sure this is the correct solution. So he delivers 62 of the times and 29 of the stars.